I think when you bring in your graduates that have been in the field for a while and they come back, they bring a different, unique perspective because they're in the industry, they're young, they have life experiences that they can bring back to the students because they're not that far disconnected from them. And they're it's like lead by example.
Right.
Right?
Right.
They come back, they're instructors or mentors, and this is what I'm doing. This is what I learned. This is how it's impacted my life. These are the opportunities that are out here, and they can see it. Someone who's been in my situation and look how they evolve. That is very key. That shows a child what they can be because they can see it, they can feel it, they can touch it. The person is there, and they're bringing back that information to them. And I think that's very unique.
I have with me Erica Mitchell from the Atlanta School District Board of Education.
Yes.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is the CUBE conference here today in Miami is just wonderful. They have a lot of great speakers.
Yes, they do.
And I'm really excited to talk to you about the topic of computer science because that is one of many areas where the future is going to continue to grow. Salaries and compensation is going to continue to increase, and all kinds of companies will need those kind of skill sets. We got legacy companies that certainly need to reinvent themselves, and we have industries that are going to be disruptive that we don't know what it's going to be like in 5, 10, 15 years. So the future is pretty bright. So how do you at the Atlanta School District plan a curriculum around something that is so progressive? How do you do that?
Well, one of the ways that I think about when I think about computer science, it is the fastest growing industry in the world. When I was in college, over 20 plus years ago, won't give the exact amount of years because it's been a while. My major was computer information system and business administration.
Was it? Wow.
It was,
Wow.
yes.
Wow.
And one of the things that I realized is that once I graduated, I then had to go back to school if I wanted my certifications or that I wanted more training in that space. Now the students don't have to do that. They can get everything they need right in high school that prepare them for their career or a pathway to college if they want to go more in depth in a certain area of study. We didn't have that over 20 plus years ago. And now I see how the industry has changed. I went to visit one of my schools, and I'll name the school Scott Elementary School. They have the first smart lab in the state of Georgia.
Oh, wow.
That smart lab is composed of learning how to code in elementary, learning how to dismantle and put together a computer, and the other technical language like Java.
Yeah.
And so I'm seeing the kids doing that at an early age, like in the 3rd and 4th and 5th grade.
Isn't
I'm
that
like,
something?
wow,
Yeah.
I was learning this in college. I was like, it's such a big difference. And then we have another school in my district, which is John Lewis and Victus Academy, which is Microsoft certified. And I'm just like, okay, so we have these different components with different partners, but we need a solid foundation of a comprehensive computer science curriculum. And that is one of the things that our governor has put aside funding for in that area of computer science. So now as a district, how do we implement a curriculum? Well, I've looked at different options.
Right.
You have Dell with girls in gaming because we know that females are not as likely to go into the IT field as their counterparts, our male students. But they offer a unique niche to get girls into that field, right?
Good.
And then you have like different companies in Atlanta like IBM and Google and what's the rest of the big ones? Not the big ones, like AT&T is revolving. EY and just different tech companies in Atlanta where we can sit down with them and say, okay, we need your support in areas of making sure our kids are ready for your workforce. But we got to come back and look at how does that curriculum fit into our school system. So with Rex Academy was one of the curriculums that I looked at, and IBM. They're in that K-12 space. So if we implement their curriculum and show a feeder pattern from elementary, middle school, and high school, then we have those partnerships with the tech companies in our city that offer the opportunities to our graduates. Is it the certification that you will be able to receive before you graduate? Is it a career that you can go into after you graduate? Is it, going into the collegiate pathway to develop in special areas? It could be agribusiness, it could be engineering, it could be a lot of different things. But that solid foundation is going to come from that K-12 curriculum.
Has there been any planning in terms of, I know how difficult it is to get teachers in this high-tech area, and certainly to partner with companies in terms of mentorship, that's all very positive. But could you ever envision some of your graduate students coming back and being a good example for kids?
Yes.
Because they're only going to be, what, from third grade to say 12th grade.
12th grade.
Is, say 9-10 years apart, as opposed to bringing someone in from industry who might be 30 years old.
I think when you bring in your graduates that have been in the field for a while and they come back, they bring a different, unique perspective because they're in the industry, they're young, they have life experiences that they can bring back to the students because they're not that far disconnected from them. And it's like lead by example.
Right.
They come back, they're instructors or mentors, and this is what I'm doing. This is what I learned. This is how it's impacted my life. These are the opportunities that are out here, and they can see it. Someone who's been in my situation and look how they evolve. That is very key. That shows a child what they can be because they can see it, they can feel it, they can touch it. The person is there, and they're bringing back that information to them. And I think that's very unique.
Yeah.
And I love to see a space where our students can be creative and be innovative because they see things we don't see.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that promotes the opportunity for entrepreneurship. Designing your own software, your own language for different things that you're doing, and new ways to do things, right?
Yeah.
So I think the sky's the limit. It's what we make it.
Yeah, so it sounds like we need to take the label of classroom off of the wall and put on their innovation lab.
Yes.
So it's no longer a classroom because it is no longer a classroom.
And if you call it innovation lab, students will start thinking, oh,
yeah,
wow, it's not the traditional class.
Yeah.
So, it's all about the approach.
Yeah.
The approach.
Well, I'm so glad you stopped by because we spoke in Atlanta
Yes, we
at the
did.
CUBE conference last year. And I'm glad you're on the board because you have such passion about this. And it's an area of our curriculum that truly needs some direction.
Yes.
And it's the future.
It is the future. And how do we bring those opportunities to our students so they can see what the future have in store for them?
So thank you for being here. I hope anyone who has questions, please reach out to Erica. I'm sure you'd be happy to share any other knowledge that we didn't have time to talk about today.
Not at
Because
all.
you've done a lot. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. And
Nice
good to
talking
see you
Nice seeing you
again.
again. Thanks.